guys, so today's video is going to be another episode of a TBR Elimination, but I found out from Florence Harvey's channel that we were both doing it wrong. And the way that I was doing it, and I was following what she was doing in the video, it actually, you're supposed to eliminate the books that you pick the prompts for. You're not supposed to pick the most relatable book that relates to the prompt. So you're supposed to take off the book from the TBR that you give yourself in these videos, and the last book that's left is the one that gets read. So I really am excited for this. So this is not exactly my whole May TBR. I'm filming this in April. This is like the last few books that I have on my April TBR, but also some books that I really do want to read in May. There's a book club pick here and just a couple of other books that I'm hoping to get on my May TBR. It depends on if I end up binging a series in May, and also there's like 10 million new releases in May. So we're going to pick 3 books. So I'm going to tell you guys what the TBR is in this video. I'm just going to hold it here because I really don't feel like moving this again. And we're going to try and take it from this stack here rather than like, you know, holding them up constantly. So we have How to Write a Love Story by Catherine Walsh, and we have The Kiss Quotient by Helen Hong. I don't know why I didn't put this one up here, but we also have another romance, which is One and Only by Maureen Gu. Then we have 2 sci-fi books. We have Dark Matter by Blake Crouch and Red Rising by Pierce Brown. I'm supposed to start Red Rising in May. I'm supposed to be doing a buddy read with two other people. And then I still have Fireborn by Rosaria Munda here. I really would like to get this one in this video. Then we have Bloodbound by Ellis Hunter, which is supposed to be, you know, a huge popular dragon book that's coming out soon. I got it early in Book of the Month. And then we have This Kingdom Will Not Kill Me by Alona Andrews. I really want to read this too. It seems like a really fun concept for a fantasy book. And then we have 2 books down here. We have Best Offer Wins by Marissa Cascino. I might not keep this, but while I have this, I would like to read the physical book, and then I'm probably going to return it, but it's still getting our physical TBR down. And then the last book down here is Yesteryear by Claire Burke, which is like a huge, really popular New York Times bestseller book right now. So we're going to go ahead and pull this back and show you guys the TBR. And we are going to try and see. Let me put this up a little bit. We don't have to show all the books, but I need to be in the frame at least. And I can't move the stack because, yeah. Alright, that's okay. And then we'll just move it a little bit like this. Yeah, that's good. Alright, so let's see how we're going to eliminate some books. So let's go ahead and start picking the first prompt. And we'll see, like, you know, if we get a fantasy book, that means I have to eliminate all the fantasy books. So, or the fantasy prompt, I mean. Okay, so let's go ahead and pick our first one. I'm not really looking at it. Okay, so let's see. So the first one we have is a romance. So right off the bat, all the romance books are going to be eliminated. So we have How to Write a Love Story, The Kiss Quotient, and One and Only by Maureen Gu. Okay. So that was pretty easy to get some books off of this. This is fun, though. I'm excited for this. That we're actually doing it properly. Does that mean we keep them? I think we add them back and see if we can find more books after that. I'm not sure if you're supposed to add them back in. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. All right, let's see. Let's pick another one. Okay. I'm holding this one, so we're going to pick that one. Another blue one. By the way, again, the colors mean nothing. Okay. First book in a series. So I think that means Red Rising and Fireborn, I know, are definitely the first book in the series. And I believe these two are as well. I'm pretty sure Bloodbound is not a standalone. I'm pretty sure it's the first book in the series. Let me see. And I know This Kingdom Will Not Kill Me is definitely the first book in the series. Okay. So we already got 3 more books off. Interesting. Yeah, I'm just going to re-add the books again. So, like, we'll see what else gets chopped. Yeah, this one's definitely the first book in a series. So, Bloodbound. And This Kingdom Will Not Kill Me, I'm pretty sure, is the first book in the series as well. This Kingdom will... Yeah. Okay, so eliminating this one as well. Let's not tip over the TBR jar. So now we only have 3 books left. So we have Dark Matter, Best Offer Wins, and Yesteryear. So let's see which one is going to get picked. All right, let's see. I think I'm keeping both of them out, you know, because we don't want to pick the same prompts again, because we already eliminated those. Okay, let's go ahead and see which one. Hopefully this will determine which one we're reading. Okay, let's go ahead and pick a prompt. Let's pick this one. Okay, well, 2 fell out, but let's see what this one says. This one says a trilogy. None of these are trilogies. Let's go ahead and pick another one, because we already eliminated the first books in series. Epic fantasy. We already took the fantasy books off, pretty much, because usually fantasy books are the ones that are part of series. Okay, let's pick another prompt. Okay, hopefully this one will determine what we're reading. Book that ends in an even number of pages. Okay, let's see. So this one ends in 340. So we're not reading Dark Matter. Then Best Offer Wins. I believe this is an odd number of pages. I think I remember it's like 269 or something. Yeah, 269. So this is still staying. I have a feeling we're going to end up reading that. And then Yesteryear with the epilogue is, I believe it's 390. 391. So we have 2 books left. So let's see which one we're reading. This is interesting. Okay, let's go ahead and pick, hopefully, the last prompt. Okay. This is so much fun. I'm having such a great time. Okay, we have 2. Actually, we have 3. Yeah, let's pick again. That's too many. I didn't realize I was holding 2. Alright, let's go ahead and pick another prompt. Okay, we have 1. This one says paranormal fantasy romance. None of these are paranormal fantasy romance. Okay. Let's pick this one. Hopefully we'll pick a book. Any romance. We already eliminated those. Sorry. I didn't think it would take so long to pick the first prompt. I mean, the first book. That's always how it is, isn't it? Okay. Male author. They're both female authors. Okay. Because we already eliminated the male author ones, too. Alright, let's see. Let's try and dig for something. Alright, we have 2. Let's see what these 2 say. Hopefully that'll determine which book we're reading. Book of the month. Neither of these are book of the month, but they're both available in book of the month. One word title. That means we're reading Yesteryear. Well, no, never mind. We're eliminating that one. So that means the first book we're reading is Best Offer Wins by Marissa Kashino. Okay, that's great. So let's go ahead and restack the books. Okay, so I think we're going to keep the prompts out because I think that would be better to eliminate, you know, other books. And since we already used all those prompts, I don't want to go through using the same prompts again. I think that would be better to avoid picking the same prompt again, because the point is to read these books, not to eliminate, like, literally every single book. So let's see what we're reading next. Okay, so the first prompt is magical realism. I believe One and Only's magical realism. I don't think any of these other ones are, though, because all of these are fantasy, not really magical realism. So let's go ahead and pick again. We only eliminated one. All right, let's see if we can... God damn it. I just dropped the top. God damn it. I really don't want these books to fall over. Okay. Let's not do that again. Okay. Let's go ahead and see what else we can pick. Oh my god, this is so fun. I'm having the best time. I need to do it properly again. But yeah, I think that's the only magical realism one, if I'm not mistaken. If I am, then... And also that would have been a book of the month, but whatever, it's fine. Okay. Let's pick another prompt. Okay. So this one says 26 in 2026 TBR. That's an interesting one. I don't know if any of these are on there besides Red Rising or Fireborn. But they weren't officially on my 26 in 2026 because I tried to not pick series. But also, I did add certain series that are on my 26 and 2026 TBR. But those aren't necessarily books on that TBR list. Because like I said, I avoided picking any, Actually, I think the Kiss Quotient might be. But I didn't put romances on here because, like, you know, I read romances whenever I feel like it. So, let's go ahead and pick another prompt. Okay, let's see what this one says. I'm surprised that all the books are safe after that one. Okay, seasonal pick. So, that means the romances will be gone because, you know, it is getting closer to May and I get into a big romance mood then. And, like, a lot of bigger romance books come out then. I don't think any of the other ones would be a seasonal pick. Yeah, not really. Alright, let's see. Pick another one. Okay, this is a lot harder than I thought. Okay, let's see. 2024 release, that's a super old prompt. So actually we can completely take this prompt out of the jar because we definitely don't need that prompt in the jar anymore. Well, maybe I should make that 2026 release. You know what? Let's do that because we're going to make it a 2026 release prompt anyway. So that means all three of these books are gone, which is This Kingdom Will Not Kill Me, Bloodbound, and Yesteryear because these are all new releases. Okay. That made it a lot easier to eliminate some more. Okay, so that means we only have 3 books left. We have Red Rising, Fireborn, and Dark Matter since you can't even see it anymore because of my quilt. Alright, let's shake it up good this time. But yeah, I'll just make that the 2026 release prompt. So we can reuse it. I didn't realize that these TBR jar prompts are like 2 years old at this point. That's crazy. Alright, let's pick another one. Let's pick this one. And this TBR jar prompts have, oh, this is a good one. Yeah, I think I know exactly which, well, actually, never mind. We're eliminating it. But anyway, I have refreshed this jar a few times with new prompts. And also, we completely refreshed the jar to do the prompts all over again. Because I was getting bored with the prompts that were in here that were like the last like 10 or 15 prompts in the jar. So I just completely refreshed it and put all the prompts back in here along with new ones. So this one says, book at the bottom of my TBR. Definitely Red Rising because I never... This has been on my TBR for 2 years. I really want to read this, but I'm avoiding it so much because I don't want the pain of waiting for book 7. So that's why I've been putting it off. So we'll definitely say this one. I wouldn't say Fireborn, but honestly, kind of. Because I keep on putting this on my TBR constantly. But let's see if we pick one more, what we're going to end up reading. But, you know, if it doesn't eliminate anything, then we're going to end up reading Dark Matter, so. Because that is a standalone as well. So they're still on the... Oh. Well, this already has an adaptation. It says book that's going to be a movie, which is Dark Matter. And this one already has a movie. Well, it has a TV series. So does that mean we're reading... But also, this was, like, technically on the bottom of my TBR because I still haven't picked it up. But I really do want to read this. But honestly, this would be probably a better choice for this. Is that cheating? I mean, I already picked the other prompt. And this one is technically on the bottom of my TBR. So I think we're going to read Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. Okay. So I'm really excited for this one. So that's great. We're not going to count the other one because... Like I said, Fireborn is like pretty much technically on the bottom of my TBR, so... Okay, where's the one? Okay, let's put the book that's going to be a movie back into the jar. And then let's see what we can pick after this. Okay. Okay, so hey guys. So I decided I wanted to do this for one more book because I had too much fun. If we get too many of the same prompts, then we will take those out, but... I put the prompts in again from the ones that we drew before. We're going to try and see if we can get one more book picked. Let me just face it a little bit more this way. You don't really have to see me that much. I think that's better though, because then you can see more of the books. So again, we have How to Write a Love Story. We have Red Rising, Fireborn, One and Only, This Kingdom Will Not Kill Me, Bloodbound, and Yesteryear, which is on the bottom. Okay, let's see what we get. Okay, so let's pick one, obviously. Okay, we're not doing that one because that's the 26 and 2026 one. Okay, let's pick over here. We have Smutty. We're not doing that one either. Like, by the 4th or 5th prompt, we'll do it. If we get, like, too many repeat ones. Okay, we have Seasonal Pick, which we already picked twice. Okay, let's try 2 more. Okay, we have Goodreads Poll Pick. Okay, one more. Okay, we have Any Romance. I really do want to... well, we might keep that one. Let me see if we pick anything else. Oh, we had one that fell out. Let's do that one. We have Cowboy Romance. None of these are Cowboy Romance. All right, let's do Any Romance then. So I guess we're eliminating One and Only and How to Write a Love Story, which again, I really wanted to read those. And let's go ahead and shake it up. Maybe we'll get a fantasy book, because I really would like to get a fantasy book in this video. That's what I'm hoping. One of these two, or Yesteryear. Because, you know, these we're just going to keep on putting off. But we'll try. We'll see. We'll see what we're reading. Okay, let's pick another one. Got this one. We have Period Pick. I don't think any of these are period picks. Yesteryear might be. Let's look that up, actually. That's a new prompt that we haven't drawn yet. Yeah, it is. It is a period pick. So we're going to eliminate Yesteryear. Okay. I think that's it. I don't think any of these other ones are. So we have 4 fantasy books left. Okay. That did work out. Okay. Let's do another one. Let's just pick this one. We have Book of the Month, which is, one of them is a Book of the Month, which is Bloodbound, so I guess we're not reading that in this video. Okay. That was good that we got something else. All right, and then hopefully maybe one or two to determine what we're reading. Okay, let's do this one. We have magical realism. I don't think any of these are magical realism. I mean, they all have magic in them, but they're not magical realism. Let's close this and shake it up again. And then let's see what we get. Okay, we got two. Let's see what we get. Over super hyped. Definitely would be Red Rising, because this is the most hyped out of these two. So we eliminated that one. So we have Fireborn in This Kingdom Will Not Kill Me. So then hopefully this one will determine what we're reading, because we did get one word title before, but we do have one word title here, and that is Fireborn. So we're reading This Kingdom Will Not Kill Me. That makes me very happy, by Ilona Andrews. That was really fun. This is such a fun time. I don't know how I'm going to do this again, though, with the prompts that are in the jar again, but we'll figure it out. Maybe like after we actually draw the prompts for my May TBR, we'll figure it out. But yeah, that's exciting. I put the other books on the cart, but so we have a thriller, a psychological thriller, we have a sci-fi, we have a romance, and we have a fantasy, a romantasy book. So I love doing these kind of videos because I want to get like a wide range of books read in one video. And all of these I'm going to try and put on my May TBR along with this one, actually along with all of these books, but I really want to get these two books read in May as well because I'm really in the mood to read them. I might actually read this one next because I'm kind of feeling like reading that one. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And I think I'm going to start with, honestly, it might be This Kingdom Will Not Kill Me or Best Offer Wins. One of those two. But I just got the audiobook from Libby because I was on the wait list for it. But I was only like a 2-week wait. And I just got my borrow, so I'm probably going to read that sooner rather than later. So yeah, I'm excited for it. And Bloodbound isn't even out yet, so I won't be able to get the audiobook for that yet. And I might read that before the month is over, because it comes out the 28th. And I kind of want to read that on the 28th, so. And I'm almost done with the Four Winds already. I only have 2 hours left in the audiobook. I'm flying through this. I always fly through her books, but sometimes they take me a bit longer. But this one, I'm binging the hell out of it. I don't know if it's my absolute favorite Kristen Hanna, though. It's still amazing, but I'm not like as in love with it as I was with the other book. Of course, we didn't pick the Dragons prompt, but that would have eliminated the Dragons books again, so it wouldn't have mattered if we picked that or not. So yeah, that is it. So bye. Okay, so hey there guys. So I decided that I wanted to pick a different book for the fourth book that we drew in this video. And now we are actually picking from my actual May TBR that I really want to try and pick from one of these. There are a couple that are still the same, but actually the first 5 are all different ones than I was picking from. It's only One and Only in Yesteryear here. Technically, I am already going to be reading Yesteryear because I already put it on my Goodreads as currently reading, and then the same thing with Bloodbound. So I'm going to be reading those 2 books next regardless. But I thought it would be fun to pick something else because I'm not really in a huge romance mood right now. Which kind of sucks for May because there's like 5 billion romances coming out in May. But I think what I'm going to do is just like mood read the new release romances that come out. And I thought we would use the prompts that are already been picked from my TBR jar because I actually used my TBR envelopes for my TBR video in May. So I thought we could already pick from the Furby cup of, you know, prompts that we already have used. So let's see which one we can get out of here. I mean, it might be a little bit hard to reach it out of here. I don't know why I'm not showing you guys when I'm drawing. All right, let's pick one from the bottom. And none of these are like folded, but it's fine. Okay, murder mystery. I think maybe Yesteryear has murder mystery in it. Am I already going to be eliminating that once again? I feel like this video does not want me to read what I'm actually in the mood for, and it's making me read, like, even though I did read Best Offer Wins and, what was the other book that we read for this? Oh, This Kingdom Will Not Kill Me, and I really liked both of them. Let's see, does Yesteryear... But if we do end up picking a romance, the only one that I really kind of would be in the mood for is One and Only by Maureen Gu. Let me put this down a little bit more so you guys can actually see it. Does Yesteryear have murder mystery? Yes, it does. It is a mystery thriller. So we're taking off Yesteryear once again. Let me pull it back a bit more so you guys can actually see me. Maybe a little bit like this. So you can kind of see my face, but kind of not. I don't know if... I think Assassin's Apprentice has murder mystery in it too. Does Assassin's Apprentice have... And I kind of want to save that for a different vlog I'm thinking about filming. Yes, contains elements of murder mystery. So this one is getting eliminated as well. I think City of Iron and Flame does too. Because it's literally about a murder plot, right? Investigates her sister's murder. Perfect for... I think this classifies as murder mystery too, but let me just check. Does City of... I actually think we can eliminate a lot of these because a lot of fantasy books do have murder mystery plots. City of Iron and Flame. I really wanted to read this one though. Have murder mystery. I didn't think this prompt would get rid of so many books. Yes. Yep, Central Murder Mystery. So this one is being eliminated too. This one, she knows all the names, probably does too. Does she knows all the names? Have... I was thinking about saving these for TBR takedowns, but... Or a couple of them, but... It might not show up on here. It says Passion, Murder, and Betrayal. So, I think this one's getting eliminated too. I really wanted to read this one too, but I think for the sake of this... I mean, it literally says murder in the synopsis. Does she knows all the names by... Michelle Jabez Corpora. It says murder, but not murder mystery. Well, we'll see. We'll keep it to the side, and we'll see what other prompts we draw. But I don't think we're going to draw that many more because we already got a really good one to eliminate a bunch. All right, let's just pick this one. All right, 2 fell out. Let's see what they both say. Books on my good... I mean, all these books are on my want to read list from Goodreads, so that one doesn't really count. And none of these take place in Long Island. That was like my Mad Wife prompt. But I think it ended up being a different book, which was Don't Tell Me How It Ends, because they do mention the Long Island beaches in that book. So Okay, sci-fi. I don't think any of these are sci-fi because I think I drew that one for dark matter. Okay, maybe we are drawing a bunch of prompts. Current fave author. All right, let's see if we can mix this up a bit more. There's a stupid dice in here. Hold on. Sorry. Let me take that out of here. All right. Let's try and shake it up a bit. All right, let's try a different one. Beautiful cover. Damn it. So, I think this is the most beautiful cover. She knows all the names. Actually, all of these are really beautiful covers. So, and so is Daughter of the Moon Goddess. I think this cover is stunning. The Honey Witch I really love too. But I think we're going to keep these two on here. Because, I mean, I still really like both of the covers. But for the sake of the prompts, those two are my favorites out of these four. So I think it's going to be between these two on which one we end up reading. Let's see which one we end up reading. This is actually working out in my favor. Okay. But then I say that and I'm probably going to end up reading something else, but it's fine. Okay, let's pick a different one. A book with fae. I don't think either of these have fae in them. I mean, One and Only definitely doesn't. And the Honey Witch, I think, is just witches. Summer romance. I don't know if both of these take place in the summertime, though. I don't know when the Honey Witch is set. Hey, Siri. When does the Honey Witch take place? Hey, Siri. When does the Honey Witch take place? No. Hey, Siri. What season does the Honey Witch take place in? Ugh. Siri's so dumb sometimes. What season does the Honey Witch take place in? I feel like I don't know if this is spring or summer. Oh, this one is a summer cozy, so no. Let's see when One and Only takes place. What season does One and Only by more? If they both take place in the summer, then we have to draw a different prompt. Because then we're eliminating both of them. We're not reading anything. Set in the spring. Leaning into May. So, yay, we're reading One and Only by Maureen Gu. This was the one I wanted to get. And what's so funny is, like, I'm not in a romance mood, and then meanwhile, we're reading a romance book. But I don't think that this is, like, the typical romance book that I would think about. That's, like, you know, a huge, like, contemporary romance. It just sounds like such a fun plot. So, yay. I'm actually really happy about that one because we took the kiss quotient off. But I think that was a lot easier because most of the prompts eliminated a lot of books. You know, the first prompt eliminated 3, and then the second prompt eliminated 2, and then the third one eliminated 1. So I feel like it was a lot easier to find a book for this. And this is also my seasonal pick for May, but I'm actually really excited to read this one. So I guess we're reading mostly new releases in this. Well, actually, we only ended up reading 2 because it was only, I don't know why I'm all the way back here still. We read This Kingdom Will Not Kill Me, and now this one I feel like only came out, I think, last month. One and Only. It's not even on my want to read. Good job, Caitlin. I don't think it's a typical summer romance. Oh, it came out in February. Where have I been? It says Cassia Park believes in soulmates, fated love stories. It's her family business, after all. For centuries, from Korea to Los Angeles, Park women have peered into clients' past lives to find their one true love, their fated. This magical secret is why only one and only matchmaking has a 100% guarantee for everyone but Cassia. I think that sounds like I've never really read a matchmaking romance, really. Like, I don't really like, maybe more so typical romantasy, not really contemporary matchmaking, magical realism romance. I don't think I've ever really read something like that before. I could be full of shit though, because I'm not really sure. Because I read so many books at this point. Maybe like, yeah, but there wasn't really a matchmaker in that book. I was gonna say The Magic of Lemon Drop Pie. Maybe one or two of the books in there, but I really can't remember anything really having a matchmaker. I did read Don't Tell Me How It Ends, but that wasn't a magical realism book. That was just a regular contemporary romance that had a matchmaking subplot. So I don't think I've ever read it together before. So I'm very excited for this book. So yay, we finally picked the book that we're going to read next. So yeah, bye. Okay, so hey there guys. So I figured I would update you guys on where I'm at in the first book that I am reading for this video. I actually have to update which chapter I'm on really quick. Because I've listened to a lot of the audiobook. So I'm on chapter 20, but I'm like kind of in the middle of it. But I'll just say I'm basically on page 200, so I figured this was a good time to update where I'm at in This Kingdom Will Not Kill Me by Ilona Andrews. I think I said that this was going to be the first one that I was going to read for this video. I was just really in a big fantasy mood, and this book is so highly rated on Goodreads. It has a 4.63. I mean, yes, it's less than 10,000 ratings, but I think that's a really good indicator on how fucking good this book is, because I am fucking loving this book. This book is just so much fun. I look forward to picking it up every single time I'm reading it. I read like 45 pages physically last night, but I mostly listened to the audiobook yesterday because I actually went on an indie bookstore crawl yesterday, because yesterday was National Indie Bookstore Day. There were so many bookish events going on this week because it was National Library Week. It was also National Book Day, National World Book Day, I think a couple of days ago. And also was Indie Bookstore Day yesterday. And it's also Double Stamps weekend at Barnes this weekend. So a lot of amazing book things going on if you're a reader. But I don't think I'm going to be taking advantage of the double stamps this weekend because my TBR cart is literally exploding right now because I got 4 books yesterday doing the indie bookstore shopping. And then Friday night, I went to like a Long Island authors event where they had like a bunch of Long Island authors there. So that was going on the island as well. And I bought 4 books there. So I bought like 8 books the past couple of days. And I also got 3 books with my gift card that my friend got me to Barnes & Noble a couple of days ago. So yeah, my cart is just fucking overflowing and I just cannot buy any more books for a while. I don't want to keep on buying books and then giving them away if I don't have any room for them because that's kind of starting to be a waste of money. So, I mean, I do get money back for them, but it's not anywhere close to what I actually paid for the books originally. So, I have at least 4 books to return to Barnes & Noble though. So, I'll update you guys in a second. I just wanted to update you on my life really quick. And I'm probably not going to go. I might have to exchange the one that I'm returning tomorrow, but I don't think I'm going to go until tomorrow. I don't think I'm going to leave the house today. I'm just so tired. I actually originally was supposed to have a date later But I texted him. I don't know why I keep on losing my voice, by the way, like every 5 seconds. I'm like still getting over this stupid cough slash cold, like whatever the fuck I had. So, and no matter how much water I have, my voice keeps on going. But anyway, I was supposed to have a date later, but then I messaged him this morning and I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm just so fucking exhausted from yesterday. Can we just reschedule? And he said, can we do Thursday? I was like, that's perfect. And then I actually have another date on Wednesday, so I'm actually really happy about that. But today, I just didn't want to drive anywhere because I drove all over the island yesterday. I drove to 3 different towns. And then Thursday and Friday I also drove I drove to another town to see, I always drive to Hapog to see my best friend. And then I drove to Babylon and Bayshore on Friday night for the authors event and like another indie bookstore like potluck thing because this bookstore is actually closing. But I bought 2 books there and then I bought 4 books at the authors event. So, and then like I said, I bought 4 books yesterday, but I did really good about sticking to like my 1 book per bookstore yesterday because that's what I wanted to do. And also because I just didn't want to buy too many, but I did want to support the indie bookstores on National Bookstore Day. I really wanted to see if they had like book merch because I would have bought that over buying books. But none of them really had book merch that I wanted to buy, so I just was like, okay, I guess I'm going to buy books. But it was so much fun. It was so much fun. I posted it on my TikTok as well on all the places we went to if you want to check it out. So anyway. And then also, my other friend invited me to a Mets game today. And I'm like, I don't want to go. I really don't. She's like, oh, the first game starts at 1:40. I'm like, there is no way I'm going to make it by then. I didn't get up till almost noon today because I am exhausted. So I'm like, yeah, I just really wanted to stay home and fucking rot. And all I wanted to do was read today. So I'm also watching Beef, the 2nd season of Beef on Netflix. Oh my God. You guys, it's such an amazing show, but something awful just happened and I was crying. I'm like, "Oh my God. This season, I feel like somebody really important is going to die or get killed." But oh, it's so good. It kind of reminds me a bit of the style of White Lotus, but probably like even more unhinged. I love like those kind of shows where like the buildup is crazy and then it just everything gets unhinged. Like I really love those kind of shows. Like Beef and White Lotus are both like that. So if you like shows like that where it's like a slow burn buildup, but it's not boring. Oh, it's so good. I'm so hooked. And then I also started this other show called Running Point on Netflix with Kate Hudson. Oh my God, it's fucking hysterical. So I'm definitely gonna watch that after I finish Beef. And then I've also been keeping up with Euphoria. The new episode is tonight, so I'm probably gonna watch that over Beef because I already watched an episode today. But I only have 3 episodes left, so I'm probably gonna finish it like Tuesday. So, oh my God, it's wild. So anyway, let's just talk about This Kingdom Will Not Kill Me. I think that this is gonna be a 5-star, you guys, and I haven't had a 5-star fantasy book since Daggermouth. I was actually making a vlog reading that, but then I scrapped it because I only had 2 books I was reading in it. Well, I had 3 books I was reading, which was Daggermouth, Starside, and The Night We Met. But then The Night We Met and Starside, I just put in my new releases for March video and then scrapped reading Daggermouth because that would have only been 1 book because I wanted to read books I was like really excited to read. But that was my last 5-star fantasy book. This is amazing, you guys. Like, so this is about a girl named Maggie. I don't know why I had to look that up. So she loves like this book series that she rereads like constantly. She gets sucked into her own fantasy book. And her interactions with the characters in this is fucking hysterical. Oh my God, I've laughed out loud so many times. My favorite kind of fantasy books are fun, funny fantasy books. Like, and like, I don't even care if there's no romance in this yet. It's kind of like a slow burn. There's not really like anything happening between them yet, but I feel like something is going to happen probably around 50% of the way through, because like 50% would be like 250, because this is like 400 something pages. But I'm having a blast, and like I get so excited to pick this up every single time I'm reading it. So, and she is just such a relatable character. Like, she, would always think that like her comfort in life was books, because like even like her parents and her friends, like she never really made true close like human connections with like friends and family. She's always been more connected to like her book world and her book characters, and that's like what books do a lot for people that aren't easily able to make friends. Like, I mean, I've never had issues making friends. Like, I have made so many friends in Silent Book Club, and I literally went with my book bestie that I met at Silent Book Club 2 months ago. And this is the first time we've hung out of Silent Book Club, and we had such a great time. It was so much fun. Um, but anyway, this is so great. I cannot wait to see what else happens. I can't really say anything else because it would be super spoilery. But basically, they think that she is like she can see the future, because obviously she knows everything that happens in these books, and she can't really like reveal too much, because then that would probably completely change the course of like what is supposed to happen in the book. And I think that's just so fucking fun. So I'm just having a great time, and like every character is like, how come you didn't tell us you could tell the future? And they're all Irish, so like, oh my god, it's just such a blast. Also, the names that she has for some of the characters that she doesn't like Lord of Assholes and Shit Smear and Dumbass. It's just so fucking hysterical. I'm laughing my ass off. And of course, they have like an evil king. Um, and she actually, I can say one more thing. She thought that she got killed in this world, but apparently she can't die. So it's like kind of like combining a bit of like video game kind of feels, like kind of similar to like Dungeon Crawler Carl. Even though I haven't read that, I still cannot say that name without like slowing it down. But it's kind of similar, where like those books have like side quests and stuff like that, and it's very like video game-esque. With this, I feel like it really reminds me of like a video game where she gets like a new life, but also she can't tell anyone in the world that she can't die. So she has to avoid getting killed like at all costs, and it's just fucking hilarious. I'm having the best time, so I cannot wait to read more. I think I'm up to part 3 already. I don't know how many parts in this. I'm guessing like 4 or 5. But yeah, I'm having an absolute blast. Probably the next book that I pick up in this video is probably going to be Best Offer Wins, because I really do want to read that. Because actually, my book bestie that I went out with yesterday, she already read it. And I'm like, girl, it's our May book club pick. She's like, yeah, but I really wanted to read it. And I was like, damn, you finished that real quick. So I'm not sure what our book club pick for June is yet. And I can say what my book club pick is in here, because you're not even going to see this video until like the middle of May. And I think I'm going to film my TBR later, since I'm not going anywhere now. And I'm just too excited to film it. But yeah, I just have way too many books to read right now. It's like insane. But I've just been kind of mood reading the past couple of days, and honestly, I've been having such a blast. Like, this was not on my TBR for the month, but I just really wanted to pick up something that had, like, I knew I was going to love it, and I really wanted to, like, I was in a fantasy mood, and I felt like this was so easy to, like, get into, and it's just been such a great time. So, yeah, that's it. And also, I just needed a good audiobook to listen to while I was driving everywhere yesterday, because the next book I wanted to go into doesn't actually have an audiobook, because it's like a much smaller author series. But I think I'm going to go into that next. And then TJ Klune's new release comes out Tuesday, so I really want to read that. And Bloodbound, I'm probably just going to end the month with Bloodbound. So, because we only have 5 more days in April, so I think I'll be able to finish those 3 books and then just like this book and the 2 Kindle reads, and then I'll just go into Bloodbound. So yeah, that's it. Bye. Okay, so hey there guys, wanted to let you guys know that I did finish the first book for this video, which was This Kingdom Will Not Kill Me by Ilona Andrews. You guys, I fucking loved this book. This was a 5 stars. We're already starting off this video amazingly because we have a 5-star read. Like I said, I had a feeling I was going to give it 5 stars. This book was just so much fun from start to finish. And I mean, I've read a lot of fantasy books that like romantic books that have made me laugh, but then there's some things that are a little bit cheesy about it. This like made fun of like the typical romantic tropes like 10 times fold, but like it still felt unique in its own way that I just was eating this up every single time I picked it up. I just could not wait to read it and finish it, and I just fucking loved it. I can't really, again, say much about the second half, but basically, she has to find a way to defeat the villain, the Butcher. They also have to figure out what his identity is, and also she has to work with some people that she can't really trust that much, which I also really loved because, like, the love interest, she's not sure if she can really trust fully, but also she has, like, this unhingedness to her that she's never been able to, you know, really release. Like, it's female rage, obviously, and what do you call it? Mike Bookstagram just called it this yesterday. It's called, hold the phone if I can find it, but I loved this book. This was so much fun from beginning to end. And all I've seen is amazing reviews for this book, and I obviously agree because I gave it a 5 stars. So, but some of the things she says in this book is just so fucking hilarious that, like, I kind of want to reread this book, especially when I'm probably going to reread it when the second book is coming out, because we have no idea, because like this book like just came out at the end of March. So the fact that I'm still reading end of March releases, because there were so many books that came out in March, there weren't as many in April, and I'm pretty much reading the ones that are coming out the 28th and the ones that came out last week on the 21st. Like, I'm reading that one right now, actually, called The Honeybee Cafe by Kay Michaels. I'm reading that one. And I'm also reading an arc of another book that I got that comes out tomorrow, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Hold on one second. I don't remember what it's called, but basically, like, it's with, like, a weak female main character that grows into, like, you know, her fantasy setting, but, like, she's not a weak character, like, whatsoever. It's just saying, like, you know, she starts off without having powers because she's thinks that she's a regular human, and then once she gets sucked into this world, she actually has a lot more powers than she thought. Because at first she was kind of faking, like, what powers she had, because like I said before, she said that she could tell the future, and the only reason why she knows the future is because she's obviously read the books that in the world that she's in. I just ate this up. It was so much fun, and yeah, I don't really need to say anything else. I'm just so excited for the second book. I might re-listen to a little bit of the last chapter or two, because I was kind of a little bit rushed to get ready today because I was meeting my friend Felicia to read at Barnes because I haven't seen her in like a week and a half. So actually, I don't think I've seen her since Silent Book Club. I think that was only a week and a half ago. So yeah, so I'm not really sure which book I'm going to be picking up next. I'm hoping it's going to be Best Offer Wins by Marissa Cascino. I don't think I'm going to pick up Dark Matter until the middle of the month, but yeah, it's probably going to be Best Offer Wins. And I might swap the Kiss Quotient for a different romance book that I picked up recently. This is just going to be a bunch of new releases in a TBR Elimination video, but hey, that's okay. That's what my TBR Takedown videos are for, is to read books that have been on my TBR for a ridiculous amount of time. But basically, I received the advanced listener copy of 2 books that come out tomorrow. I received the listener the advanced listener copies, if I could speak, the ALCs. I'm just going to say ALCs today. I got them today, and they come out tomorrow. So I already started listening to one of them because I already knew I was going to be listening to it and reading it when it came out tomorrow anyway, which is TJ Klune's We Burn So Bright. So I got the advanced listener copy for that. And then I also got the advanced listener copy for This Weekend Doesn't End Well for Anyone, which is the third book in the Vacation Mysteries series by Catherine Mack. Words are very hard for me apparently, but I'm also very tired. I did not leave the house yesterday. I didn't do a fucking thing yesterday. All I did was read This Kingdom Will Not Kill Me, watch an episode of Beef, and actually film my TBR video for May. That's all I did yesterday. I didn't even do laundry yesterday. I'm hoping my mom threw in my laundry today. But you guys don't need to know my entire life. So yeah. I'm gonna continue listening to We Burn So Bright tomorrow, obviously, because that's release day, but hopefully I can get, I'm like 10% into it right now, so, because I literally just saw that I got it like 2 hours ago. And I'm loving it already. So, and then This Weekend Doesn't End Well for Anyone. I'm probably just gonna start listening to the last day of the month, which is the 30th. So yeah. Too many books, too little time. Even though I've read 85 books this year already, I am already getting overwhelmed with all these new releases and all the new additions to my TBR. So yeah, that is it. Goodbye. Okay, so hey there guys. So the next book we are going to be picking up for this vlog is Best Offer Wins, I Speak by Marissa Cashino. This is my book club pick for May, so I'm very excited to read this one, and I'm going to be reading this one next. In general, as I felt a little bit reading slumpy, but I think it's just the book that I'm reading, but I am like 75% of the way through it. I'm actually reading The Paris Match by Kate Claiborne, and I'm not really liking this that much, but I decided to stick with it. I actually was thinking about DNFing it, like DNFing 2 books in 1 month, but I didn't have any other book that was ongoing with this one, so I thought it would be like a waste of time, but I'm glad I stuck through it because I like the writing. I just don't feel the chemistry between the 2 characters like whatsoever. But the writing's okay. Like, it's okay. It's not, like, great. But I'm definitely going to be returning that. And I'm probably going to be returning the physical copy of this. So at least, I won't have as many books as I did before. And I'm probably going to return probably 2 or other 3 books to Barnes as well after I read them. But anyway, I'm really excited to pick this up because I think that this will prevent me from feeling reading slumpy. I think I just need to pick up something completely different than romance and fantasy. I'm not really in a huge fantasy mood right now or romance because that's all I've been reading the past like week or so. So it's like I kind of want to read something a bit unhinged. But I heard that this kind of takes a little while to build up to the actual unhingedness of it all. But actually one of the girls in our book club has already finished this. She read it in April, and I'm like, girl, this is our Bay book club pick. And she was like, yeah, but it was so short that I wanted to just read it now. And I'm like, okay. So I'm really excited to start this. I think this is going to be really fun. And I just needed something like super short because the May new releases are just overwhelming me right now, and since I had bought like 5 books from the indie bookstore crawl that I went on, and then also I bought, a bunch of books from Barnes lately, I just really want to get my TBR down. And again, since I'm not going to be keeping this, I want to read the books that I'm going to return and not keep as well. And then I think I'm going to go into Yesteryear after I read this because I actually just got my hold for that book today. My audiobook hold from Libby. I'm so surprised that I got it like in less than 2 weeks because yesterday I checked and it was a 3-week wait still. It went down, I think I only waited like a little bit over 2 weeks, because like at first when I put it on hold it said 5 weeks, so I think it was like 2 weeks. And I can't believe I got the audiobook for it now. So I think I'm going to go into that next, because like again, I don't think I could go into a fantasy or a romance right now because I'm just not really feeling either genre. So I think I need a thriller-ish type of book and a general fiction thriller, because I think they're both kind of thrillery. But Yesteryear's obviously in the general fiction, so yeah, I'm very excited for this one. I don't know why I keep on saying that. It says, in an insanely competitive housing market, a desperate buyer on the edge, Marissa Kashino's darkly hilarious debut novel asks, how far would you go for the house of your dreams? I didn't realize this was her debut novel, and I probably read that once already. It says, 18 months and 11 lost bidding wars into house hunting in the overheated Washington, D.C. suburbs. 37-year-old publicist Margot Miyake, that's my age, and also I'm still watching Margot's Got Money Troubles. I actually just watched the most current episode just now, and it was just it's so good. Gets a tip about the perfect house in the perfect neighborhood slated to come up for sale in 1 month. Desperate to escape the cramped apartment she shares with her husband Ian, and in turn get their marriage, plan to have a baby, and whole life back on track, Margot becomes obsessed with buying the house before it's publicly listed, and the masses descend with unbeatable all-cash offers in hand. A little stalking, harmless, a little bit of trespassing necessary. As Margot infiltrates the homeowners' lives, her tactics grow increasingly unhinged, but just when she thinks she's won them over, she hits a snag in her plan. Undeterred, Margot will prove again that there's no boundary she won't cross to seize the dream life she's been chasing. The most unsettling part, you'll root for her even as you gasp in disbelief. Very excited to read this again. Why am I saying it like a bajillion times? But this is going to just take me like one day to read. So I just needed something that I can just binge the hell out of it. So I think a lot of people use this book to get out of a reading slump. So it's just like, I feel like I'm kind of in a physical book slump right now, where I just want to read on my Kindle, and I do have this on Kindle, so if I end up finishing it tomorrow night, I'm just going to return the physical book on Friday, but I just don't even know if I want to pick up the physical book, even though this book is really short. I think I'm just going to read it on Libby. I just wanted to show it that I picked it for this TBR Elimination video, but I don't need to keep the physical copy. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So I will update you guys when I'm like halfway through, or maybe when we finish it, because it's probably going to take me absolutely no time. But at least we loved the first book that we read in this video. I'm hoping I love this. I'm thinking I will like this. And because it's so short, I'm excited. Let me say it again. So bye. Sorry. Okay, so hey there, guys. Still trying to get comfortable. So I did start Best Offer Wins today. I decided to return the physical book because I'm like, I'm not even going to read it. And honestly, I felt like I was in a physical book slump, or just like a book slump in general, which honestly is really bad for me to be in a book slump, especially this month. I mean, it's not like I didn't feel reading slumpy last year a couple times. But, like, I usually, like, people say the best way to power through book slumps is just to keep on reading. So, I'm so happy we decided to pick this book, though, because it's such an easy book to binge. So, I'm reading it on my Kindle because I just borrowed it from Libby, because it's like, I don't need to keep it if it's just so easy to borrow. So, I'm on page 90. I'm 34% of the way through on chapter 10. And this book is so much fun. I just needed something really fast-paced and just really short, and something that would take, like, no time to read. And obviously that's usually thrillers, but, like, I'm just so glad that we picked this book for book club. But honestly, after this, I think I'm going to pick up Yesteryear because I actually did start a fantasy book and I'm 15% of the way through that, but I do not want to read it physically. But the audiobook is really good. Um, but I think I'm going to end up. The thing is that, like, I might read a fantasy book though on May 5th because there's 3 new releases coming out May 5th already. One of them I already own because it came out early from Barnes, and the other two, it's either a romance or a fantasy. And like honestly, romance and fantasy are like the 2 genres I really do not want to read right now. I don't know if I'm even going to read them until like after I read Broken Dove because I am not going to be putting myself in a book slump or a fantasy slump or a romance slump to read that book. So, because like I said, that's the only book I care about reading. Maybe I'll just like try and slow down a bit in May because I've read 90 books this year so far already. But like, I don't know if it was because I picked up 2 back-to-back romances because the book that I just read before this was The Paris Match by Kate Claiborne and I didn't really like it. I don't think it was the I mean, I think it was because I did read 2 back-to-back, like actually like 3 back-to-back great books. I think I had 3 5 stars in a row. I think it was, yeah, I had 3 5 stars in a row. It was Into the Blue by Emma Brody, This Kingdom Will Not Kill Me by Alona Andrews, and We Burned So Bright by TJ Klune. So I read all bangers, and then The Honeybee Cafe was so good too. I gave that like a 4.25. It was so good. But then I read The Paris Match and I was so excited to read it. But the only reason why I picked it up was because the audiobook was easier to get on Spotify because I was waiting for the audiobook loan of Bloodbound on Libby, and then of course I got it today. But I at least I finished The Paris Match, but I didn't really like it that much. So, I don't know if it's just because I'm in a life slump, because, I'm still unemployed, I'm still fucking single, I still live in my fucking house. So, like, there's nothing that has progressed. I've been trying to take care of health stuff, but honestly, and I've been trying to clean my room, but, like, honestly, I feel like I'm always so overwhelmed with things that I just exhaust myself. So, anyway, but this book is just so easy to get through, but also like at the same, I mean, I think I am invested now, but even when I was listening to it earlier, I was like, I don't want to be listening to an audiobook right now. I didn't want to like listen to anything at all. I just wanted to watch like YouTube or something, but then I listened to like 10% of the audiobook and I was like, okay, I'm pretty invested now. So like it's not like I wasn't invested in this story, I just wasn't sure if I wanted to read. But I'm glad I stuck with it. I read like 30 pages on my Kindle or something, or I think like 35 pages. Um, and so basically, this book is about like a girl named, well, a woman named Margot, and she's married to a guy named Ian, not Ethan. And she like has always struggled with like money for most of her life, and Ian has always been like more like well off than her. And I think they met at their job, and he actually had a girlfriend at the time, but he was actually cheating on his girlfriend with her. But I don't think they did more than kissing. Not that that's right, but she's like, I can't do anything further with you until you break up with your girlfriend. So he broke up with her like a day later. So basically, they've been married for I don't know how long, and she's trying to get pregnant, but it's like really hard for her to get pregnant. So they have tried doing IVF, but it's not taking. So they've been considering adoption, but they never really like had the push to do it or did it yet. So like Ian kind of like gave up on like making her pregnant because they weren't able to. So um she, like, really wants to move into, like, this bigger house so they can, like, have a kid and live in, like, their dream house. And every house that they put an offer on, that ends up getting snatched up by them because they have this budget. And even though I'm like, why is it that Ian's so worried about spending more money when it seems to be that he has more money? So I don't really understand that, but I guess because, like, he's a man, he's wanting to control their finances and stuff. Not that he's ever been that way, but, she has always had to rely on his finances more than her own because, again, she doesn't make that much money. I think she works for, like, a catering company. But anyway, so she stumbles upon this, like, dream house that she wants, and it's actually owned by, like, this gay couple that are moving to London. And they have an adopted daughter, and I think she's Asian too, so she, like, really relates to Margot because Margot's Asian. And anyway, so Margot wants to check out, like, this house, like, so badly, and she wants to put in an offer, like, before it even goes on the market. So she tries to befriend, like, the gay couple. And that's all I'm gonna say for now. Because the way that she tries to become friends with him is she starts, like, low-key, like, trying to see where he is, like, low-key stalking. So at first, her and Ian drive to the house so she can, like, check it out when they're not home, and she's, like, in the backyard. And Ian's like, you need to get the fuck out of there, there's a car approaching, and she tries to leave, and the other guy, like, stumbles upon her, and she's like, what are you doing here? And she's like, oh, I got lost, because, like, it's not my usual route where I run, and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, long story short, then she, like, she runs into him at, like, his yoga class, and she ends up befriending him and trying to get him to get her to give her the house with the offer that they're putting in. But the offer that they're putting in is just too low for what the housing market is, because the housing market's, like, insane. So, like, insanely expensive now. It has been since COVID, and, like, she does mention COVID and why it became more expensive and stuff. So far I'm really enjoying it, so I'm excited to see where it goes. So I'm gonna go. Bye. Okay, so hey there, guys. So I wanted to let you guys know that I did finish Best Offer Wins by Marissa Cascino. I finished it like 2 hours ago already. It was just such a bingeable book, and I feel like it made me want to read again. Because now I'm thinking about reading, even though I took, like, a 2-hour break from not reading after I finished it to just binge YouTube videos and just rest for a bit. Because sometimes, like, just your brain doesn't feel like reading, or it just needs something like a palate cleanser, like Best Offer Wins. And I thought this was really good. I really enjoyed this. I feel like, even though the last 15% was a really great unhinged female rage, I feel like it was a bit far-fetched that I don't want to ruin it, but I feel like I'm gonna get a little spoilery, so skip ahead if you don't want to hear this. But I feel like it was a little bit unrealistic that nobody suspected that she was the one that was involved in the killings that happened. But, that usually happens in domestic thrillers, but it reminded me of a little bit of Dear Debbie by Frida McFadden, but I feel like this was much better written. Like, I really enjoyed most of this book. But my other book bestie, Diane, who is the only other person who's finished it in the book club so far, some other people are currently reading it, like Felicia and Meg and Casey. They're all currently reading it right now. They haven't finished it yet. Casey's almost done. But anyway, Diane said the same thing about the ending, was that, I'll leave it up to you to think about what you think of the ending. And I messaged her, like, the very last page, and I'm like, yeah, I'm a bit confused by this ending too, LOL, not gonna lie. So we were kind of talking about, like, yeah, we feel like it was a little bit too lucky for her, but at the same, I just really enjoyed Marissa Kishino's writing, though. I am definitely going to read whatever she comes out with next. And I'm really excited to see the TV show for this because I feel like this makes such a perfect TV show. And also, I kept on picturing who they casted. I think her name is Greta Lee the entire time in this book because it's like, it helps so much. Like, I feel like before even reading a book that you know is going to be a movie or a TV show, and same thing with Yesteryear, I feel like I'm just going to be picturing Anne Hathaway like the entire time. Um, I feel like it helps like the world building a little bit more and gets you more into the story. Cause like all I could think about is like thinking about Greta Lee's reactions and the picturing like her face like in the morning show. Oh, it's gonna be so unhinged. I'm so excited for it. I don't know what she's working on next, but the only book, this is her debut novel, and honestly, this book was fucking great. So I'm very excited to see what else she's working on. I mean, this novel was a hit, so yeah, that's pretty much it. I can't really say that much more without getting really spoilery, but the ending was a bit too open ended for me. I kind of wish we would have gotten a little bit more in the epilogue, but at the same time, they could have done like a 10 years later kind of thing. We could have gotten like another epilogue, or maybe she's working on a sequel. Who knows? Maybe she'll work on something interconnected. That would be really awesome. Um, because this book kind of reminded me of On a Quiet Street, which I just read like 2 weeks ago, and that was the last thriller I read. And that one was a complete mood read too. And it reminded me of like unhinged Desperate Housewives. But like Margot didn't really have anybody else to talk to about it. I mean, she kind of just like blackmailed Ian into staying married to her. But Ian, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Like, you're so dumb. Like, why do you keep on cheating on her? But I'm not gonna say like anything else, but it's like, dude, if you already knew she was capable of like being like crazy, why would you make her crazier and sneak around more? It just makes no sense, kind of. Also, like, Ian, you're just so stupid. But anyway, it was a great time. And now I feel like I'm itching to pick up a romance. Like, I really want to pick up this book. But I'm going to read Yesteryear next because I'm dying to read that book. And like I said, I need, like, different genres right now. Because I haven't read a general fiction, I think, since The Four Winds. I mean, that was only like 2 weeks ago, but I'm just really wanting to go into Yesteryear because it's kind of like, it reminds me a little bit of The Compound, where like I want a general fiction mystery thriller. So I'm really excited for this book. So anyway, I don't know. I think this one is probably going to be the next one we pick up, or Dark Matter. I'm not sure which one. Which one I'm in the mood for is what I'm going to read. Maybe it'll be Dark Matter because that will be a completely different genre as well, because that's a sci-fi, and that's just a standalone sci-fi that'll be so easy to pick up. Yesteryear I don't think is a sci-fi though, even though she wakes up in the actual time period. So it is time travel. So yeah, that's it. Bye. Sorry. Okay, so hey there, guys. So I wanted to talk about the next book that we picked up for this TBR Elimination video, and that is Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. Really wanted to read this next, and I'm so glad that this book got picked for this video, because so far I'm really loving this. I'm on page 69, basically 70. And Jason Dezen basically wakes up where he doesn't know like what his life is. He was married and had, I don't remember if he had kids. I actually don't remember. But all of a sudden he wakes up. Sorry, it's really late. I don't even know why I'm making this right now, but I don't want to make it too late tomorrow. I wanted to make it now. He wakes up and he has no idea like where he is, and like all of a sudden these people are questioning him on what his what he was doing, and they asked him like, do you remember what you were doing there? And he's like, no. And he thought he was married, but all of a sudden, like, when he tries to call, like, the house that he lives in, a different person answers, and he is able to get out of where he got, like, abducted, pretty much, because a guy, it actually opens up where a guy, like, holds him at gunpoint and takes him away to this lab, I guess. If it's a lab, like, who knows what it is. And right now, we have no idea. He basically, like, abducts him there to excuse me, to go there. So yeah, so far now he just checked himself into a hospital because he's like he's not sure if he's going insane or if he really needs help. So that's what's going on so far. I can't really say too much more without spoiling anything. I need to go because I'm coughing. I don't know if it's just this book that's making me cough. So yeah, I'm gonna go. Bye, and I will update you when I get further in. Okay, so hey there guys. So I wanted to let you guys know that I did finish Dark Matter by Blake Crouch last night. I finished it around like 1 a.m., so I really didn't feel like making a an update then. I'm gonna try and go to bed by like 2 tonight, because I just went to go read with my book bestie Felicia earlier. But I've just been going to bed like so goddamn late because, you know, I don't have like a set schedule to work. I really am missing working though. I really am missing working. Like, I've had 3 months already of being unemployed, and I feel like that's enough at this point. I feel like I'm going a little bit stir crazy at this point. Not that I don't hang out with my friends, I just like miss working. Like, which is crazy to say because people always say when they are working, they wish that they weren't. But, like, ever since I was working at Apple, like, I looked forward to going to work every single day. That was, like, the best job I've ever had. So, like, and then the job with Barnes & Noble just didn't work out. So, and I was dying to work there, too. And I would have loved to work there every single day. But, like, it's just been rough and hard to find a job. So, anyway, I'm still reading. I think I'm officially out of like my little slump that I was in. I don't think it was me. I think it was because of the Paris match. I was like, I need to take a break from romance, but also like I wasn't really liking that book, like, at all. I probably should have DNF'd it, but I honestly like don't even like that I finished it. I might lower it to a 2-star because honestly, I really didn't like it that much. But anyway, Dark Matter was so freaking good, you guys. Oh my god, I can tell why this book is so popular. It's just such a good, fast, bingeable read. If you're in a slump, I highly recommend reading this book. It's so fucking bingeable. I literally could not put this down. I had to know what happened at the end. Oh my god, like, all the copies of him wanted to be with his wife Daniela and his son. So basically he had to figure out whether or not they were all going to kill each other. And the scenes with like him coming face to face with his other copies like blew my mind. They were just, I cannot wait to watch the show. Oh my god, I'm so excited to watch the show. And I told my best friend that he has to listen to this book cuz like I said, he's not a fiction reader, but if I recommend like any sci-fi books to him, he'll read them. Because he, like I said, he did listen to Project Hail Mary so we could see the movie. And I was like, now you can listen to Dark Matter so we can watch the show. But I don't know if I can wait for him because I want to watch the show like really badly now. I also finished the first season of Running Point on Netflix. I just finished it this afternoon. So I might just watch that until he's done with the book. But we're also finishing Daredevil, the new season of Born Again. We only have 3 episodes left. But we might just watch Dark Matter after that. But also, I don't know if I'm going to be able to wait for him to watch it because I want to watch it so badly. So, yeah. But anyway, it was just so fucking good. I can't really say anything else. I don't even know where I left off making an update about it because I think I only made an update when I was like 70 pages in and then I finished it already. I did read a lot of the physical book though. I read like 100 pages of it yesterday and then the day before I read like 40 pages. So, and then I listened to the audiobook because I thought that the narrator was just so good. It was just I can't really explain anymore without you guys actually reading it because it's going to spoil a lot, but basically like he had to figure out as to why someone took his life and why he couldn't remember anything that had happened, and then after they had described to him what is actually happening, then he had to figure out how to get back to his wife too. But also like all of the copies are trying to get back to his wife, so like he had to be really careful about the decisions that he made because he didn't know if like his other self made the same decision. So like he had to figure out like, you know, how am I able to get shelter? He doesn't even have an identity, so he doesn't really have a bank account. He just has like cash. So he has to like savor all of his money, and then like he basically buys his last meal with like having breakfast, and then he's like, I don't have anywhere else to go. He can't go back to Daniela because one of the copies are going to come after him. So he has to figure out how the fuck to get shelter. And yeah, it's just wild. It was just, oh my god, it was so goddamn good. I can't say anything else. I just loved it. So I didn't even say the rating. I gave it a 4.5. I feel like it just wasn't a 5-star read. I just didn't get that feeling, but it was still really, really good. I don't think I've had many sci-fi 5 stars. I mean, actually The Humans. I'm fucking lying, by Matt Haig. I fucking loved that book. My mom is like in the middle of reading that book, so I don't know how far she's gotten. I really want to give her Remarkably Bright Creatures next, but she's definitely not going to finish it before the movie comes out on Friday. I'm literally counting down the days for that movie to come out. I'm so excited for it. There's so many book adaptations coming in the next month or two. Like I said, Remarkably Bright Creatures. Then the second season of A Good Girl's Guide to Murder is at the end of May, and then every summer after the movie comes out June 10th. So, and I need to see The Devil Wears Prada 2. And I want to watch Dark Matter, so I have plenty of things to keep me occupied book-wise, watching and reading. So anyway, the last and final book that we're going into is One and Only by Maureen Gu. I'm probably going to read this in like a couple of days, like, because I'm in the middle of 2 books right now. I'm actually in the middle of a new release and another book that's on my TBR takedown video. In my TBR takedown video, I kind of stopped reading that to read the new release today, but I'm like, I think I'm around the same point in both of them. I'm like 150 pages into like both of them, but I'm reading Our Perfect Storm by Carly Fortune. I'm loving this book so much, you guys. I don't want to say too much, but I'm loving this book. It's so fucking bingeable. Like, I'm already on page 160. I think I just listened to like the first 3 chapters this morning, and then I read the rest of it when I was home. I mean, when I was with Felicia earlier and when I was home, and I think I read like over 100 pages already. So, yeah. So, reading Slump Who. And then I'm also in the middle of The Honey Witch by Cindy L. Shields. I don't know if I'm going to put this on pause to read a couple of new releases that came out today, because I really want to read Fury Bound after Our Perfect Storm, because I got that on Kindle and I'm kind of craving something on my Kindle right now, but also like I need to get my physical TBR down. But meanwhile, Fury Bound and She Knows All the Names came out today, so I want to read something. I'm probably going to read it on my Kindle tonight anyway, because I always switch to my Kindle when I'm reading before bed. So, and so far I'm really liking this too. I don't know why this book gets so much hate. I think it's good. So far I'm really enjoying it. So, and I think this will ease. I think I picked a good like reading slump TBR for myself, because like I said, I branched out to a thriller, a like general fiction thriller, and which Yesteryear is kind of a complicated book for me, but I'll go more into that later. I mean, I feel like it's a very thought-provoking book, don't get me wrong, but it was a little bit disappointing for me at the end, but it was still a great read. Like, it was so much better than Theo of Golden. Oh my God, I hated that book. And then I went to Dark Matter, and I thought that was like a perfect TBR to get me out of a reading slump. And also, they were all new authors to me, and I was like, let me just try like different things that I don't normally pick up, and they were all so good. So, and like I said, I don't think it was me. I think it was the book, but also I think I'm getting like TBR fatigue again because there's so many fucking new releases coming out in May, but this is again the first one I started with, and I was just really in the mood to read this one. So I guess I wasn't, but also I wanted to take a break from romance for a couple days, but this was literally the only romance book I would have been in the mood for, and I'm so glad this came out today because I'm loving it. I had a feeling I was going to, even though people said that it's not as good as One Golden Summer, but I'm really loving it. So yeah, that's it. I'm going to shut up, but I will start One and Only probably in like 4 days or so because I want to finish that book, obviously, and I'm going to finish The Honey Witch, and then I really want to go into Fury Bound, and then I'll probably pick up One and Only, depending on if I have time for 2 books before Broken Dove, but if I only have time for one more after I finish Fury Bound, then I'll just do One and Only, and then I'll do Broken Dove, and then figure out the other new releases I want to read after that. I don't know if I'm going to go into Bloodbound until after Broken Dove because I really wanted to read that, but now I have a craving to read Fury Bound because I'm really curious to see if it's going to be better than the first book. I really liked the first book though. I thought it was great. I just did not like the female main character. She was a little bit fucking annoying at the end. But like that, the same thing happened for me with Shield of Sparrows. Like, I still really liked the book. It's just like the female main character, like, why they make him so oblivious and stupid at the end, it really pisses me off. I'm sorry, but it pisses me off so much. But I have a feeling I'm going to love Fury Bound because everyone is loving it left and right. I know people were saying that about Rights of the Starling, but people said this one, the action starts right away and is action-packed throughout the entire book. And I'm like, I kind of need that. I need a little bit high stakes right now. So I'm excited. But I'm glad I went into, like, the books that I did, like I said before. And then I went into a cozy fantasy and a summer romance. So, like, I feel like I'm still keeping it versatile without, like, not having the excitement to read, because now I'm so excited to pick up Our Perfect Storm again because I'm just fucking loving it, and I'm gonna read more like right now. So yeah, that's it. Bye. Okay, so hey there guys. So I almost forgot to make a check-in on where I'm at in this book because I forgot that I was reading it for this vlog. But now I'm reading the last book that I need to read in this vlog, and that is One and Only by Maureen Gu. I am 60% into this book already. I just finished reading like 70 pages of this. I was mostly just listening to the audiobook the last couple of days because I needed something to listen to in the car. Because I find that I really can't listen to fantasy books in the car. Or if like I'm just even around my area, I really would like to actually, concentrate on what's happening. So it's a little bit harder for me to listen to audiobooks, and then in the morning too when I'm not fully awake. So I've been putting on like easier books, like romance books and stuff. This is hysterical and I'm loving this book. It's just so much fun. It's just such a good like palate cleanser from like the couple of fantasy books that I've read lately, because I read Broken Dove and Bloodbound. So now I wanted to read like an easy spring, like magical realism romance, and I'm loving this book. So this book is about Cassia, and Cassia has like a family matchmaking business, but they have this ability of being able to see into the future. It's kind of a little bit similar to the book that I'm actually reading right now too, because I'm reading 2 books at the same time. I'm reading an arc as well, which is A Sprinkle of Sweet Serendipity by Rachel Linden. That comes out on Tuesday, so I wanted to start that on my Kindle. And also I always have a Kindle read going at this point at night. But anyway, so she she meets this guy named Ellis, and Ellis is 10 years her junior. And he, really likes her. And she feels like she can't really date him. One, because of the age thing, but honestly, like, she's like almost 40, but, age does not matter if, like, unless it's like 30 years, then that's a little weird. But if it's like 10 to 15 years, I eat that shit up and I love it. But she feels like she can't be with him because she actually sees that she's going to be fated to somebody else. And the fated person just so happens to be her, Ellis's boss. And his name is Daniel. And they're dating right now, but she keeps on running into Ellis in like these like weird circumstances. And I feel like, and also she said this one thing, or I think Daniel did, about Ellis, but like they both like really respect each other though, and they both think like if you ended up dating the other person, they're both very civil about it, and they're like, he's the best guy I know, blah blah blah, even though Ellis is upset that she's dating Daniel, he still talks about how much he respects and thinks that he's a great guy. So, I mean, that's asking a lot from two guys that want to date the same woman, but she's been looking for her, fated person for a while now, cuz she's 40 and not married yet. I mean, I'm like kind of in the same boat. I'm 37 and I'm not married yet, and I don't even have a boyfriend because my boyfriend was a piece of shit. But anyway, so far I'm eating this up. I'm definitely going to finish this book very soon. I'm just going to listen to the audiobook now because I have to get ready to go out. We're doing another escape room with my friends. I'm so excited. But yeah, I'm just eating this up. So I don't want to talk about any more because I will check in with you guys when I finish it. But yeah, I'm excited that we're on the last book for this video. There's just been like 10 million May releases coming out. I think I'm filming like 3 different vlogs at the same time. So I'm doing my TBR Elimination, obviously this one. I have my TBR Takedown video. I'm still going to read the last book that I need to read in that video probably later this month, if not the end of this month, because there's still 5 billion May releases to read. I think I've read 4 at this point, and I'm on my 5th with a sprinkle of sweet serendipity. I also have to start listening to The Shippers by Catherine Center. That one also comes out the 19th, and I have the audiobook arc of it, so I really need to get that going. I'm probably going to listen to that tomorrow. Because I actually have a book fair to go to tomorrow. I'm so excited to go with my other book besties. And I'm going to listen to that probably in the car, back and like getting ready and then back and forth to the book fair. So yeah, I'm excited and just need to get like a head start on some of these books. But I did finish my 100th book last night, which was Bloodbound by Ellis Hunter, and I loved it. But I cannot believe I've already read 100 books this year, and I feel like I've barely made a dent in the May releases. So yeah, that's it. Bye. Okay, so I just wanted to let you guys know that I did finish One and Only by Maureen Gu, literally like probably a half hour ago. I read like 100 something pages of this today, and I listened to the audiobook for the rest of it. And the audiobook narrator was really good. I really enjoyed this book. This was so good. I think I'm giving it a 4.5. It wasn't 100% a 5-star. I actually thought it was going to be a 5-star, but it's not like a book that it's going to like stick with me forever. But I thought that this was really well written, really just cute, age gap romance. But like the romance wasn't really like the central plot. It was more so like her, finding her path in life and kind of just, breaking out from like her, like, I mean, even though she was still like running the family business, it was really cute. I really enjoyed it. And the romance was really well done. The banter was hysterical. I just had a really good time with this book. So yeah, I'm giving it a 4.5. This was the book that we read in replacement of The Kiss Quotient. I really do need to read that book though at some point. I think I'm going to read it over the summertime. I really don't like romances to be on my TBR for a long period of time. I don't know when I'm going to read it though, but because I really wanted to read Daughter of the Moon Goddess as my last book in my TBR takedown video, but we have What's crazy is that I don't know how I ended up scheduling reading 3 back-to-back romances, but like I said, I have 2 more arcs that I need to read before they come out Tuesday. And I just so happened to pick up this book after reading 2 back-to-back fantasies, and I really wanted to read this one just because, like I said, I really wanted to read this in May. So, and I thought like right smack in the middle of the month was like the perfect time to read this. So I just thought this was really cute. So yeah, she ends up, finding who she should be with. I can't really say much more because honestly, it's going to be like a full spoiler for like the end of this book. But basically, she also takes some time for herself to see what she wants, but she does realize that like she needs to find like the right person for her. So that's pretty much it. Again, I can't really say much else about the rest of this book, but it was just really good. I had a really good time. So, um, all 4 books that we read in this video were all so good. So, yeah, even though I ended up returning Best Offer Wins because I just borrowed it from the library, and I just read it on my Kindle and listened to a lot of the audiobook from Libby, so, but I still really loved the book. So, we read Best Offer Wins, Dark Matter, This Kingdom Will Not Kill Me, and One and Only. And we did have 1 5-star in this video, so. But I didn't rate anything under a 4. I think I rated Dark Matter a 4.25. Right? Can't remember. I don't know if this book was another 4.25 actually. But I really, really liked this. I might give Dark Matter a 4.5 because I loved that one. But I can't remember what I rated it because I read these books a couple of weeks ago, so but yeah, like I said, I didn't rate anything under a 4-star. Oh, I did rate it a 4.5. I loved it. So, I would say probably One and Only is like a 4 point. I feel like a 4.25 is too low for this book because I really did enjoy it. I think I'm going to leave it at a 4.5. I really enjoyed it. So I would say number 4 was Best Offer Wins by Marissa Cashino. This is not a bad book in any way. It's just because I rated it a 4.25. I'm just literally solely basing this ranking on the ratings that I gave these books. But all of these are solid books, and I highly recommend all of them because they were all so good. Then number 3 was One and Only by Maureen Gu. Just such a delightful, cute romance book. There's also zero smut in it, so if you want something that has no smut, I highly suggest you read this one. It was just so well done. There was only like a couple of kissing scenes and that was it. But it did not feel young, and it didn't feel like it needed like a smut kind of scene in any way. The story was just so well written, and I'm so excited to read more of her books because I really did enjoy the writing of this one. As long as you can keep me entertained, that's all I care about. Like, I didn't even care that they didn't do more than kissing because that's a well-written book, you know? If you, like, can't wait for them to kiss or the smut or anything, usually it's, like, more so the kissing scene because it's, like, that's usually more important, obviously. But, like, yeah, I didn't feel the need to have a smut scene in this book at all because it was just, like, it was more so about, like, past lives and, like, how they can see who they're going to end up being with, because that's her ability. And it's just like, it was passed down from her family for like generations. So it was just so good. And then number 2 is Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. I fucking loved this book. I'm so happy that I finally read it. And I think I said before that I want to start reading more sci-fi, so I'm glad I read this one. And I read The Humans, I believe at the end of March. I don't think it was the end of April. I think I read it at the end of March. I'm pretty sure. I actually cannot remember. What was the last book I read in April? Dude, I cannot remember shit tonight. Who de phone? Yeah, I read it at the end of March because the last book that I read in April almost put me in a slump. But I am not feeling slumpy in May. I think I got my reading mojo back, and now I'm just like reading devouring books, and I can't wait to pick up the next one. So yeah, I'm glad that I've read a little bit more sci-fi. Um, so I want to keep on like expanding my horizons with sci-fi. And then the last one and the best one and the number one book in this video was This Kingdom Will Not Kill Me by Alona Andrews. I fucking loved this book, you guys. Just, I cannot wait for the second one. I'm probably going to do a re-listen of the audiobook before it comes out. I also decided to keep the book because it was a 5-star read. Oh my god, just what a hilarious, fun, amazing, magical time. And also like a lot of like dark scenes, but what a delight. Seriously, what an amazing book. So, yeah, again, what a successful reading vlog. I had so much fun doing this the proper way finally. So I can finally post this vlog, and I'm probably not going to do another TBR elimination video until June. I did read This Kingdom Will Not Kill Me at the end of April, so I didn't realize I've been filming this reading vlog for almost 4 weeks at this point. Because we're in like the 3rd week of May or so. Or the 4th, right? Because today's the 17th. I'm going to a book fair tomorrow, though. I'm so excited. I've never been to a book fair before, and I cannot wait to go. So, I don't know. I cannot speak without rhyming again. I don't know how many books I'm going to end up buying tomorrow. I really don't want to buy too many books tomorrow. I'm going for the book merch because the Wandering Page is going to be there, and I'm so excited to look at more of their merch because I bought my Throne of Glass shirt there, and I also bought like my Romantasy Lane sign there when they were at the Rockville Center Silent Book Club. So I'm super excited because I did do 2 silent book clubs this week, but I haven't done anything bookish this weekend. What's crazy is that, like, when you start buying books so much and you're such a big reader, you miss doing bookish events and, like, bookish things. Like, all I ever want to do is book stuff 24/7. But I did go to escape room earlier, and it was so much fun. We actually solved the escape room. It was the hardest room, and it was so fun. And yeah, I'm just super excited. So hopefully I'll be able to get I really want like maybe an ACOTAR sweatshirt or like Magnolia Parks one. Can I speak English? Or a Quicksilver one would be really cool. But I know there's supposed to be a shit ton of vendors there, so I really want to look at the book merch vendors more so than the book selling ones. But I do want to buy 1 or 2 that I want to get signed by the authors. So depending on where those author signings are, if they're like scattered around the whole thing, I'm not really sure of the layout, and I'm not really sure if it's inside or outside or both. So I'm gonna have to look that up tonight and see. But like, again, all I care about is going to the Wandering Page. Everything else, I'm just gonna let my friends, we're just gonna probably walk around the entire thing and see which ones we want to stop at. So yeah, I'm super excited. But again, being a reader for almost 3 years at this point, because I started in October 2023, but I didn't become an obsessive reader until December, because October I finished 1 book, and then November I finished 3, and then December I finished 10, and then that's when I became a completely obsessed reader. So now I've been an obsessed reader for like 2.5 years. So by this December will be 3 years. And the fact that I've never been to a book fair is like literally criminal. So I cannot wait. I think this is gonna be better than BookCon too. You didn't hear it from me. I'm not upset that I didn't get tickets for BookCon because I heard it was a mess. So I'm hoping to get it next year, because a lot of people think they're gonna improve it next year, because I think they might improve the kinks and maybe like get more like discounts for the books. Like, who knows how that works. But anyway, so please like and subscribe. Follow me on my Instagram at CW819, and check out my TikTok and my Goodreads in the links below. I'm gonna go because my brain hurts, because like I didn't realize how much escape rooms actually exhaust my mental capacity, but I do love that those keep my brain stimulated when I'm not working and when I'm reading or playing games on my phone. I don't, or like hanging out with friends and going out with friends and talking with friends. Like, I do try and just keep my mind stimulated as much as possible, even though I like forget everything. So, yeah, but I'm really tired and I'm gonna be walking around all day tomorrow. So, yeah, I'm going to shower. So, yeah, I hope you guys have a good day and keep reading. Bye.